start recording.
I have questions on full screen even.
Oh my
Full
god.
screen.
Why have I not got a red counter? Perhaps.
Because you don't deserve
Okay, red counter time. Oh god, that means I'm gonna have to do editing now. Dang it! Oh well.
Oh, the things I didn't think about before I started doing this.
I know, it sucks, doesn't
No.
it? Anyway. Okie dokie. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Zcast, with me, Claude Rebel. We're joined for this week by Squee913, say hi Squee.
Hi!
And Piph0, say hi Piph.
No.
Who is also, we should say, the coach of Team Derp.
Yes, indeed.
I'm quite proud of their work.
Yeah.
I think you've all seen my win-loss record. I definitely know what I'm talking about.
You know what, though? With Team Derp, it's not about the win-loss record. It's how they got those wins.
Yeah.
How many fingers were blinded?
Oh, you have a Kamehameha wave. I have hopscotch. Let's put the two together.
Team Derp never fails to make everybody laugh.
It's a team you can all root for because you know it's not really like the team you have to be worried about, but you always want to see them succeed in some way.
I tell you what, though, after halfway through the season, it was a team I was afraid to bet against.
Yeah.
It seems like every time everyone bet against them.
Well, yeah. First game of the season. Super Saiyans against Team Derp.
Ah,
You will
the
see
Derp's
my
going down.
You will see my post. 10,000 Squee points on Team Derp because it's a safe bet. It's a safe bet, and the bastards won.
They didn't win. They
And then
destroyed.
everyone's like, oh shit, Team
Yes.
Derp is going to be like the team to look out for. All the money on Derp, next match, lose.
Yeah.
Never mind, it was the team that we always expected. Next match, win.
Yeah.
Make up your mind. No.
No.
Yeah.
Alright, I know that they're going to lose against Team Valkyrie. All the money on Valkyrie. Derps win.
Dun, dun, dun.
I didn't even see that coming. I was like, I'm all ready for my acceptance speech.
All right.
That would have
I'll
actually been
take
really
my
funny.
ass.
A good part about this Zcast, or the main focus of this Zcast, and one of the reasons why we have Piph along, definitely not because he was there at the time.
No.
Certainly because we have reasons for it.
Yes.
We're all staff members, and this is going to be a very heavy questions and answer,
Yes, and I've got a sore throat. And a cold.
which means that he's going to be handling the brunt of the conversation.
Yes, of course.
I got my wisdom teeth taken out.
I just cut a hangnail off about 6 hours ago, so
Yeah, I got this bad stuff. Like, I hit my knee, like, on a door. Yeah, I mean, it was already, like, hinged, so it just kind of knocked it away. But, I mean, like, it's still, I can feel it. Sort of.
I did. Why is it the knee? Okay, every time you if you bang a leg against your desk or something, that's one thing. But when it gets right on that kneecap,
Yeah.
it sucks for like 5 minutes.
I don't know.
When you, like, hard, when you hear a thump and you just know the pain's coming.
Yeah.
But you know it's going to get
It's
there.
like before it gets there, I need to hit my head against the wall to knock myself out.
Oh, God.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go straight into questions and answers. Questions and answers.
Yay.
Questions and
Great in. Great.
starting off, Rogue161 has a couple questions. First one, what Patara do you think will be the most popular next season?
Savior?
Actually, I actually think either Savior or Power.
Super.
I mean, a B2 plus 2, key
Yeah.
power minus 1.
Yeah, that one will be a very popular one.
Well, at least as popular as it can be because we've put the limitations on it.
Well, yeah, but as in most teams will probably have
Right,
it.
most teams will have that. I think every team will probably have that somewhere, with the exception of a couple.
Wait, how many of those are we allowed on one team?
Basically, the way the restrictions on the blue Pataras work, because after we tested them, they are very nifty Pataras, and we don't want everyone just abusing them. So we've added a couple extra restrictions to them, meaning mainly that in addition to the you can only have 2 of the same Patara on each team, now you can only have 1 of each blue Patara per team. Meaning you can't put the same one on two different people. You can only put... There's 4 blue Patars. If you wanted, you could put one each on each member of your team.
Yeah.
But you can't put 2 on one player, and you can't put the same one on 2 players. Otherwise, it may seem a little strict, but otherwise these Patars are kind of powerful. And if we allowed you to do like every other Patar, you'd have 2 people on every team with the same exact build.
Yeah, you would.
And that's silly.
Mecha Freezer, cooler.
Exactly. This way, you really have to think. Okay, I have the blue Patara that gives me a Blast 2 plus 2, which will basically make my Blast 2 about 2,000 points stronger. Who do I really want that on? Because I can only put it on one.
Yeah.
So that'll make you guys a little more strategicalness. All right. Question number 2.
More things to think about.
How do you become a staff member? That's a what?
You need to get a resume to like the staffs of the staff, and then if they accept you, you need to buy your own like robe, and you need to buy at least a like 6 to 7 foot tall staff.
Here's what.
And then hit people over the head with it. And then you'll become a staff member.
Here's what you need to do. You need to send a 2-page typed essay to Kriana. Kriana at YouTube.
Oh, God, no.
I got one. I'll triple space this stuff. You have no idea.
No,
I'll take money to the back of it.
The short answer is you don't. The long answer is it's all my choice. Well, actually, it was my choice in the beginning. Now, I ask for approval. Like, if I'm going to add someone new to the staff, I ask the staff, hey, this is what I'm considering. Is there any objections? Of course, I mean, for the most part, no. There's never been any objections. But the basic principle is I've added people to the staff because they provided something to the league. They worked on it. They handled, for example, Claude Rebel and Downtoes 4 became staff members because they're doing Zcast. Piph Zero Sparta became staff members. Sparta became staff members because he helps me run the forum. I mean, he made the thing. Snowy and Piph help a lot when it comes to, example, Piph used to help me customize and still does when I'm in a pinch. So, a lot of it are people. Crow Gamer is a staff member because he was really running the tests for a long period of time. He was doing a lot of them. So it was people who provided something and people who I needed for something. The problem is, not that it's a problem.
It was basically a bribe.
It was a reward for helping me with the league, and B, it meant that I trusted you to have the league's best interest over, say, your own team. But why I say the short answer is no is because pretty much all the positions I need are filled, and I'm not just going to keep adding people to the staff because then nothing will ever get done. We have a good number of people. If we start adding a whole bunch of people, nothing will ever happen. It'll be like our own congresses or parliament. So,
like the general discussion forums.
So while it's not impossible that someone will be added to the staff, there would have to be a reason, a position for them, and there's not. So short answer is you don't. But really, I mean, you guys can answer this. Being part of the staff, I mean, it's not really that different. The only thing is you see one more forum, and you have. Once a season, we all get together, we brainstorm, we go, okay, how do we want to change the league? Other than that, there's no difference.
No.
It's coaches actually make more day-to-day decisions than staff members do. So, and the last question for Rogues 161 is, who is your second favorite team?
The team that I had with Metacooler in it.
You can't know. It's still Team Cold.
Oh, okay.
I'll go first. Mine's the Vals, the Valkyries, mainly because for some reason I've always wanted that team to do really well.
Yeah.
And I've always liked Videl, and I've always been a huge rooter for the underdog, which is always like why I'm so sad when it's like I was really sad to see Pan go because I really liked that Pan was on that team. I was really like scared when they said they might replace Videl because I was like. No, she tries hard. But the Vals are my second favorite team. And besides, the Vals, I'm sorry, but there's something creepy about that Aurelie girl.
There is. The demon child is very apt.
And it's always fun to watch 18 get pissed at something.
Yeah, that is always entertaining. Piph?
I'll have to go with my team that I rooted for in season 1, and that would be Team Muscle. Yeah.
They're a good team.
I don't know. I've only ever really focused on Team Cold. I've never been that much fussed about any other team. Because as soon as I start thinking about, second favorite teams, I immediately think Valkyries. I've no idea why, just because they're awesome. Occasionally Earth Defenders, because it's amusing to see.
The Saiyans,
Squee
you
winning.
love the Saiyans.
No. Just no. No.
You love people who crush your dreams.
Shut up, Squee. Shut up. No. Just no. So, yeah, I don't really have a second favorite team. Yeah.
I don't have one.
I don't have one. It's just my team and my B team.
I do not support any other teams. How dare you ask me such questions?
My B team. Okay. That's the team I support. My B team.
Moving on is Grey Soul has a couple of questions. Couple meaning 7.
Woo!
I think. Let me scroll down. Yeah, 7.
You should number them. I did.
1. If Cell is started as Form 2, had Broly's ring, and didn't use his ultimate, how do you think he would do?
What? What kind of question is this?
Well, I'm not opposed to questions like this, because part of the reason of Zcast is to help try and explain technical aspects and all that stuff. I think he wouldn't be as good as he is right now, because Cell's biggest strength, no matter what some people, if you look at the overall, Cell's biggest strength is his ability to transform and suck life.
Yeah.
If you keep him in Form 2, he can still suck life.
Yep.
Well, you know what? It wouldn't be as bad as I thought at first, because he can still suck life, but...
Doesn't he have that B2 that lets him suck life?
Yeah, he has the B2 that sucks life as well. But he can't transform again.
Yeah, I think transformations... There are two things to think about when you look at Cell. It's not just his ability to life drain. It's the fact that not only can he transform and gain health back, but the fact that he gets more powerful when he transforms. So those last few transformations, he may not be able to gain life back, but he gets so much more powerful when he gets into those forms.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What is his ultimate?
In the second form, it's a self-destruct. It's like Majin Vegeta.
Ah.
It's actually the funniest one in the show in the game, because at the very end, his eyes derp. They go different directions. It's awesome.
He gets all poofy.
Yeah. Actually, it's not that he wouldn't be bad. He would still be a really strong character, because theoretically, his potential for life sucking is even greater.
Yeah.
But not only are you losing the power you get from the second forms, the life you get from the second forms, but you're also giving up a Patara point for Broly's ring. And you should never underestimate the difference even one Patara point can make.
Sorry, I was kind of weirded out of how specific the question was, and how that it wasn't really attached.
It sounds to me. It sounds to me like. I'm pretty sure Grey Soul is an Android supporter, and it's probably something they were debating of doing, and he just thought, hey, I'll ask the Zcast their opinion. And that's fine.
But
there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't think is there a way to not make them use ultimates?
You just have to hope and pray.
Yeah, you just hope. Hope he doesn't.
I was really confused. Like, this question, even if we answered it completely honest, would not help anything. This is a scenario that would never happen.
You can put an AI on him who doesn't focus on ultimates, but
like Majin Buu.
That's or but that's the best you can do. So, question number 2: what are your thoughts on 17's performance in season 2?
17's awesome. His ability to B2 spam is incredible.
Yes.
And he always seems to get it right when it matters.
I think that 17 is a very good player because his matches tend to be one of two types of matches. A match where he does decent and a match where he's awesome.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you see 17 have a horrible match.
I agree.
And having a player who has consistently decent matches is good enough. But when 17 gets going and takes out all four people on a team, you know, he's a very good player, in my opinion.
He is.
I'd have nothing to add.
Yeah, he's a good player. His performance has been incredible.
Question 3. Do you think we'll ever see two special beam cannons hit each other again? Possibly. I mean, depends. I mean, if we get to season,
might do.
If we get to season 12, maybe. But I have to admit that the chances that two opponents that had special beam cannon that fired them at the exact same time and they canceled each other out was just magical.
Yeah.
All right, number 4. Do you think Nappa will find new work with his degree in psychology? Actually, if the minor league ever does go get off the ground, there's like so many teams that want to add Nappa. So, you know, if the minor league ever does get off the ground, he will have work. That won't be a problem.
Yeah, he'll have offers coming in left, right, and centre.
Piph, what do you think?
Will he take off with his degree? Will he get work with his degree?
Yeah.
Is that the question?
Uh-huh.
No.
There you go, guys.
Yeah.
Moving on. How do you think a team kamikaze would do? Chaozu, Cell from Form 2, 16, and Majin Vegeta. I think they would suck horribly.
Yes.
I think they would lose.
They lose a lot. Hey, and you know what? Let's put them all on TNAI.
I was going to say that next. They all need to be on TNAI so that they're definitely kamikaze. That would be awesome to see, though.
I think I would bet against them.
Really? Sure.
Wouldn't you?
No.
No.
Look, they're throwing their ultimates. They're doing really well and badly at the same time.
Well, if you think about it, it could could make for some really, really interesting matches.
I suppose,
Everybody
but
down at the
maybe,
last health bar.
yeah, but I doubt it. I think more often than not, they either just wouldn't use their ultimates, or they would use the ultimates at the exact wrong time.
Yeah, they would.
Like their opponent has 2 points of health left, and they just tagged in. Shouts to explosion!
You bring up an excellent point.
In your opinion, is there a rivalry between the 10 and 2 teams, Androids, Cold, and Saiyans? Rebel probably will say yes.
No, there isn't. Yeah, I want to kill the Saiyans, all of them.
Rival implies they're equal.
Yeah.
I think that next season, when one of those 3 teams goes up one of the other 3 teams, there'll be that little underlying sense of who is better.
Us.
You know, like, let's try and prove it that, you know, we were all 10 and 2, but we earned that title and they somehow didn't. So perhaps there'll be that little underlying sense. Like, I noticed that this happens a lot in the league. Like when, you know, the Majins and the Vals faced off again, everyone's like, oh, 18 and DeBoer again. Or when the Androids and Muscle faced off, it was like the rematch, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that might be an issue.
Certainly. I think there is. Certainly, as far as I'm concerned, between Cold and the Androids. Or maybe not so much anymore now that we beat them. But certainly between Cold and the Saiyans. I wasn't happy. So pissed off. We will win one day. Swear it. But yeah, I think there's certainly some minor rivalry. At the very least, there's a who's better out of the 3 of us. Yeah.
Piph?
No, I don't think there's any rivalry. I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, and the last one. With the hostilities between the Androids and Muscle from Season 1
What hostility?
Oh god, no.
And the possible between Muscle and Saiyans Cold that I'm not aware of, how charged will North Kai's season be next season? I don't think, you know what, I don't think it's going to be like, all the teams, because, and I should point out that the North Kai will consist of those 4 teams because they did the best this season. I don't think it's going to be like they hate each other. It might make for some interesting playoffs, but
like
the regular season, they don't face each other, so...
No.
It'll just be my win-loss record's a little higher than yours.
Yeah, it'll be a hotly contested division, though, I think.
Yeah, well, we said that about North Kai last season, so...
Yeah, and then Colt, and then it's dominated it. So,
all right. On to the next page.
Which we have 5
this
of
is
these, by the way.
This is from 34 Butterfingers. Why are the Goku so useless? They're not. They're not useless. I think
They're the worst players in the league. Shut up, Squee.
I think they're like the special gifted child in school that takes a little more attention, but once you get him there,
I'll take Goku if everyone says he's derp.
I mean, the Goku, I think Goku's a troll. Because when we had early Goku in Season 1, he did nothing but use Kaioken and stand there. But when I tested early Goku and he wasn't part of a team, he freaking rocked the Casbah. I was like, what the hell? And our Goku, our mid-level Goku, when I first put him on the team in Season 1, he was unstoppable. And then Season 2, he started derping out. And then Season 2, towards the end, when he started going Super Saiyan and stuff, he was amazing again. So it's like, they're not useless, they're just fickle.
Yeah, they're just like annoying you.
Yeah.
I want to see that the GT Goku go Super Saiyan 4. That's all I want to see from a Goku ever. I don't care about anything else. Super Saiyan 4.
And Kid Goku, I mean,
it's pretty good.
I was going to say he pulled the Dragon Ball Heroes out a couple times, but really, they only got pulled out once.
Yeah.
That was Hiroshi. But he did. But Kid Goku was one of the stronger members of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Not
isn't
that was saying
much.
a lot. Yeah, I know. Next question. Is Budokai Tenkaichi 3 the best Dragon Ball Z fighting game?
Don't know. Never tried any of those.
Nope. The one for Super Nintendo is the best.
Which one's that? The Ultimate 22 or something?
I don't remember the name.
No,
I'm not even sure if it was released in America.
I would
Useful
say...
bit, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yes, from my experience. I've never played Raging Blasts. I've never played Raging Blast 1 or Raging Blast 2. But I have played all the others. Like all the Budokai, Budokai 2, Budokai 3, Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3. I've played all those. I've played Dragon Ball GT, Ultimate Battle 22, Legends. I would say that Budokai Tenkaichi 3 overall is my favorite. Not only because you have so many characters, but the Tenkaichi engine is the most fun to watch. It's a lot more fun than, say, the Budokai, which was just, back and forth. The simple idea of moving the camera over their shoulder was an amazing difference, instead of it being like a Street Fighter 2 perspective.
Right.
And I think Tenkaichi 3 was the best one to get that right. And then you add all the characters that are in there, yeah, I think it's the best.
I've seen some stuff of Raging Blast 2, and I've, sort of juggled them and looked at which one I liked the more. Raging Blast 2, I don't know, it just looked too... Tenkaichi 3 is really simple to see and understand what's going on. Like, the health bars and energy and everything is really nicely laid out, and it has a certain pace to it. It's not really, really quick, and it's not, it doesn't take hours and hours to get anywhere. Raging Blast 2 is just so fast-paced, and as far as I can see, the interface on it isn't actually that nice to look at. So, actually seeing where the health is on each character, or where the energy is, just doesn't make much sense to me from what I've been looking at. Whereas Tenkaichi 3 is really simple, and it makes sense as to where everybody is and who's got the advantage when. So I would definitely say from a viewer's perspective it's a better fighting game.
And if this is like a lead-up question, or if anyone's curious as to, will Dragon Ball Z League ever move to another game like Raging Blast, the answer is emphatically no. Not only do you not have anywhere near the number of characters that you would need to run the league, but I think that first of all, I don't even know if Raging Blast 2 has the AI system, customizable AIs. I think the customizable system that this has works really well for the league. I don't see any reason to move at all. Plus, I don't own a 360 or PS2 3 or so.
Yeah.
All right, Thanos 6 states in a question form, I'd love to request test matches or even start the so-called European League, but I've never actually done any recording LP and what have you. How hard is it to set up that kind of thing up? Anyone willing to give lessons? And I have the actual game. Would it be easy, hard, impossible to record right from that? Well, that's not really. That's kind of something you should ask in the Let's Play forum.
Yeah.
I would go there for all the details, but the simple answer is it's not incredibly hard to start. Basically what you're asking is LPing. It's not incredibly hard to record and upload to YouTube. It is time-consuming, and to do it for any length of time, it takes commitment. But I'm not going to take the time to explain how to do it right now.
No, that would make what's probably going to be like a 3-hour episode into like a 10-hour episode.
Shall I kind of briefly?
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
All right. It sounds like you got the actual disc. If you really want to do it from there, you're going to need a capture device, which will cost quite a bit of money. And to capture that properly, you're going to also need additional cords. So you do need to actually have research and money to do so, and a computer storage. And if you want to do it from your computer, you're going to need to make sure that you have the proper software. You're going to need a good enough computer to run it and record off of it, and you're going to need the proper recording software like Fraps.
Mm-hmm. The computer, off your computer, assuming you have a great computer, that's going to be the cheaper way to go. Because all you need really is Fraps, because the emulator itself is free. If you already have a PS2, you can just use the BIOS from your PS2. All that will be not a big problem. Fraps will be the money problem. So, but there's other forums that handle that. Gray Soul asks, check the Let's Play help in section.
It's not questions. It's a bunch of responses.
It's not
to
a question.
Thing.
Yeah. All right. So let me try and skip all these responses
You'll find
to
mine,
that.
I think my post.
Which, by the way, guys, don't answer questions in the question and answer forum. Question and answer does not mean they ask, you answer. It means they ask Zcast answers. Just throwing that out there.
But it said questions and answers. We have to have both in the
Oh,
forum.
no, Piph, no, Piph.
Yes! More answers!
No.
Okay, Gamer Junkie 27 asks, now that they're past the testing stage, how do you think the newer teams will do in season 3?
Well, they're not past
They are? They're past the
I don't think
testing stage?
Wait, there's a season 3? Where?
Oh, God. Team
Um,
Cold's just started the testing stage.
I know, right? There's so much testing that still has to be done. I'm not even going to... It's way too... Ask that question again right before Season 3 starts.
Actually, no, ask it in the middle of Season 3. Or towards the end, like just before the last game.
Right before the Tenkaichi Bowl,
Yeah.
I'll answer that question. I do think they have some spiffy new banners, especially yours, by the way, Rebel.
Yeah, Sep did an awesome job on it. I'm really proud of it. It's good. Looking forward to having King Cold living up to that rather...
Hail to the king, baby.
Yeah, that one. Yes.
All right, another question from Grey Soul. What color do you think would look good as Cell's aura? They had this huge debate
Orange.
of you know what? I'm actually going to say this. Let's put a limit on this. Questions and answers for the Zcast. Like if it has to do with the way builds work and things like that is one thing, but really that's a question for your team to decide, not the Zcast.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
I mean, if it's a question of do you think Savior or this is better, that's cool.
Yeah.
But if it's do you think Cell should be in stage 1 or stage 2 with a pink or purple? I mean, that's really among your team to do.
That is more of a strategical decision for you lot or a cosmetic decision.
Alright, so HJK states, this is a question for the guest. Okay. Have you ever felt the temptation to use your moderator power to edit people's posts for giggles? No. I'm very... I can't think of... the only time I ever edited someone's post was to help them out. I think I did it once. Someone's title... I don't remember exactly what it was. But I edited it to... fix something for them to help them out. But I am very firmly against editing posts because it seems low and dirty. And if I start, if people
editing other people's posts, getting people to edit their own post is good.
Right. Yes, exactly. Getting other people to edit your own post is good instead of double posting, triple posting, quadruple posting. Just edit your original post.
Wink, wink.
But if people thought that I went around editing people's posts, then I mean, I could make them say anything, and I don't like that. I just don't even want to touch that. I think that the only people... I kind of feel like when you post something, that's kind of like your property, your thing. I should not go in there and mess with your thing unless you've wanted me to or something like that.
Yeah.
So...
I agree.
The only thing I could ever see editing someone... No, I mean, I could delete a post maybe, but I don't think I'd ever edit it, so... There's that question.
Admirable self-restraint, by the way.
It's not even so much a self-restraint thing. It's just...
Do I get this question?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah. I mean, you don't have the ability.
Yeah,
but
I didn't even know I had the ability.
You don't.
That's what I was going to say.
It was for me or Sparta.
Oh,
the only two that had the ability.
Sparta if you want.
But you can still weigh in on what you think the mindset should be.
Why would you ever make other people say things that they wouldn't do? That is such an invasive, untrustworthy thing to do. Like, if you do that, no one is going to take you seriously.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to respect you. No one would do that in their right mind, basically.
I think what I did was, I don't remember exactly, but it was something like, I think maybe it was like when Altair set up the betting system, or when Hazafa Timeline set up the audiobooks for Lone Wolf, something like that, and they made a title that was kind of like, I really hope this is okay if Squee allows it, and then I went in there and changed the title to, this is the official thing. And so that's the only time I ever edit, and that does nothing but, helps them. So that's the only time I ever did that, and I'm exactly with Piph on that. If people think I started changing what they said, then I couldn't hold any trust whatsoever.
No, indeed.
All right, now this one from Graysol. This is something that I'm going to touch on briefly, but very strongly. Doesn't Giro fit the spirit of Team Android much better than Frankie? And Frankie is, I guess, Android 8. First, and I talked to Graysol about this. Here's the thing. First and foremost, that is not something to ask me or the Zcast or whatnot, because it's something your team needs to decide, and we shouldn't weigh in on your team's decisions, because I don't want the Zcast to affect your team in the sense
otherwise
of
Team Cold rules the whole league, which should happen anyway. I mean, come on, it's got to be fair.
In the sense of, let's say there's 4 people on your team, 2 for, 2 against, and one of the Zcast members says, no, I think it should be this way, and that kind of tips the scale. I don't want that. But I would say that you should always put the spirit of the league before a win-loss record. That is what this league is about. It's not about win-loss records. And it's, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not that win-loss records are worthless or unimportant. Competitiveness is what makes this so much fun, but it should never take precedence over the spirit of the league. But that being said, that is between your choice. If the team androids decided to go with a character if they're an android and they fit the profile, then that's fine. That's their decision, as long as it's not overpowered. Yeah.
I'd say that provided they, one, aren't overpowered, because the androids are already an amazing team, and two, they are allowed to be in the team. Neither of them, they qualify in terms of their background or relationship to the rest of the players or whatever. If they qualify, then neither of them really fits the spirit of the team better, because they're both acceptable to the team. So I wouldn't have said it made much of a difference, to be honest.
I believe that the question was because Giro made the androids, so kind of having the father figure, kind of like having King Cold on Team Cold. I suppose that might... it's kind of cool to have Captain Ginyu on the Ginyu Force, but it doesn't
Goldo is
violate...
still part of the Ginyu Force.
Right, exactly. It doesn't violate the team spirit either way, because I believe Frankie's Android 8, he was also made by the Red Ribbon Army, so, but again, it's not really our place to put weight one way or the other on that.
Yeah.
All right, so FCD, I think Soul had a good point there, but it's not complete. Did Giro fit more on the team than Frankie? It's better for the league spirit if Android let Frankie go to Dragon Ball Heroes, and did Z16 fit more or less equally than Team Frankie? Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble understanding what they're asking. But I think we covered...
Oh, yeah, we did. We covered that one.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go to the next one. And this is the one I want to touch on. Blackstar99 says, I don't care about spirit, I care about winning, because in the end that's all that matters. And quite simply, then you're in the wrong place. You really are. And you probably should find something else to do with your time. Because I don't want to turn anyone away, and everyone's welcome to participate here. But if you don't care about the spirit of the league, and all you care about win-loss records, then you're in the wrong place. You really are. This league was made, designed, and should always be a celebration of Dragon Ball Z. It is not a who can win the most. It never has been, it never will be. As I said, win-loss records are fun. It adds competition, it adds excitement, it makes you really pumped. But the second you start trying to do win-loss records over what this team is about, what the spirit of this team and the league is supposed to try and show, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah. Pure
and simple. So, if that offends someone, I'm sorry, tough noogies. Are you both in agreement with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to make your win-loss record better. But you should try to do so.
Make changes, but
right. But you should try to do so within the spirit of the league. The spirit of the league is, and let me tell you what the spirit of the league is. The teams were made with a theme in mind. The androids were the androids, pretty much Red Ribbon Army androids, but that's not really. Team Cold is the family of Team Cold. Earth Defenders were the original people who defended the Earth. The Team Derp is a great example. Team Derp is anyone who was made to look like an absolute derp in the series and didn't really have any fights that mattered. They could have been very powerful, like Kaioshin, the Supreme Kai. He was very powerful, but watch the show and show me where it was. You know what I mean? Yeah. He was made to be a complete and total derp. So, when Team Derp is looking at players, they need to look first on, does this fit the spirit of my team and the spirit of my league? Before, is this going to improve my win-loss records? If the first one is a yes, then you can worry about the second. Also, another big one is, you know what? If your team is 11-1 and every other team is 6-6, I'm sorry, but for the spirit of the league, for the fairness of the league, something's got to change.
Yeah, it has.
So, yeah.
I think 11-1 and then having 3 teams 10-2 is even more impressive than that. So.
Okay, so let's skip because then there's a whole bunch of posts about that. And then there's Rebel. That's not a question, Rebel.
What? Well,
that's not a question.
I don't understand the point of my own.
That sounds like a demand to me.
Really? What does it say?
Guys, questions only.
Oh,
The lot
right.
harder for whoever trawls through this thread if half of what you read are responses to other people, which
By the way, as a response
while I
to other people.
completely agree with this, I can't help but point out the irony that this is not a question.
I know. I
Questions only.
I should have put something at the end saying, "Do you agree?"
Or just put a question mark at the end. Questions only.
Oh God.
All right. Huzzah for timelines. All right, you've heard my curious mind so far. Let's see if you get tired of it. Okay, question number 1. Are you guys still debating about new rules, or are these final rules for Season 3? That is a good question. No, we're still debating things. We haven't said. I mean, pretty much all the way up until Season 3 starts, we might make changes of one way or another.
Yeah, the day before Season 3 starts.
But I would say that most of the major changes have already been put into play.
Yeah.
But like I said, keep an open mind, keep it open. Because we have to be adaptable.
A genius idea.
We have to be adaptable, even after Season 3, because the whole point is, if we see something that's not working, we're going to fix it no matter where and when it is.
Yeah.
So, just putting that out there. Valkyrie specific question. As you know, we're testing out a few strategies. Who do you think is better, Videl or Zengaya? Videl?
Hey, what was with all that thing where you weren't going to sway a vote because of their team and whatever's?
No, I only said that because right after they said we're almost positive keeping Videl. I know. Honestly, Piph is absolutely right. That's not really our place.
Yes.
But it was hard not to say it because I just spent all that time saying I was really
Videl.
sad with Videl. But no, honestly, yeah, it's not. We shouldn't be used as an opinion pusher or puller. So
I agree, Squee.
I know.
Honestly,
If I'm not,
I love how you brought it up, and then the next question that was the exact same thing, but with different names. He's like, "Yep."
Well, but it was already ruined. I already expressed my love for Videl. However, I do actually really like Zengaya too.
I
But
want that
no,
hair back in the league.
their hair.
I want to put static next to it. I want to see what happens.
Snuggle in it.
I know.
But that's
Kinda
kind
like off a piece of it.
whichever, and it's really hard for me not to be opinionated about it, as you just saw, because I made these teams, and when I made these teams, I put in them who I thought should be in them. So it's really hard for me to say, oh, I think this person would fit better, because I would have put them in there in the first place.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the new teams that were made that were from other people's ideas, did you have kind of a flooring for that too? Or?
Actually, I will tell you that out of all the teams that were made, with the exception of, I think, maybe Team Derp, I had already planned on a team like that.
Woo!
Yeah. I think
unique.
Because I'm trying to think. And Little Monsters. Little Monsters was actually a team I threw together because I needed another team and I couldn't make one. So, but no, Frieza's boys, the Dragon Ball heroes, Dragon Ball villains, GT villains,
GT heroes.
Team Blade. Those 5 teams right there were in my original league, the one I did by myself when I was just pathetic and didn't have an audience or anything, and I was just a geek. Those were already teams that I had already made. So most of those that people called for were teams I had already put together. So yeah. Team Derp, though, you can be quite proud. Team Derp was something that someone was like, we should have a team with, call it Team Derp. I was like, that's a good idea. So
I love how you gave me that voice.
Yeah.
You're like somebody, I don't know who it was, came up to me. Hey, let's do Team Derp.
I was trying to keep anonymous. You work.
I'm the freaking captain of it.
You work on the Venom glands, and you tweak the Venom glands, trying to make it smaller, and you breathe fire. And Team Derp.
Oh.
Team Derp.
All right.
Ooh.
Will there always be a 3-month gap between seasons, or is this an undeterminate? There will always be a significant amount of time between the 3 seasons. 3 months just seems like a good time, because if there isn't a significant amount of time between seasons, what's the point of having seasons?
Yeah, it's just
I mean, honestly, I think that it adds so much more anticipation and joy to actually having an off season instead of having it season 2 ends, season 3 starts.
Yeah.
You have something to look forward to, and when it comes, you're like, it's here!
And
kind
also
of thing.
gives teams a chance for out-of-season testing and stuff. So.
Yes, off-season is just as important because you need to make changes and stuff. I mean, if we started season 3 right after season 2, meh. So no, there will always be
discuss the rule changes and basically the whole sort of backbone.
And plus, I need the break. I mean, I need the break. It is 5 to 6 hours a week of work for me during the season, and to have 3 months off is nice. It's refreshing.
It's a holiday.
Yay! So yeah, they'll always now at least take comfort in the fact that it's not like real sports where there's like a 6-7 month off. We don't have one season a year and that's it. Actually, the way this, I think we have like 2 seasons a year, 2.5, something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's see. There have already been a few topics discussing the spirit versus winning. We have okay. Is this a question? Let me see. Oh, okay. Never mind. Though I do have to give you props on the the way it was written. What do you think is more important, spirit and then a picture of
yeah,
winning, epic winning? Well, I think we covered that one extensively enough.
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
Question, we answered that.
Yes.
You didn't hear it, but we answered it.
All right. Rank cell, all forms individually cell. No. Something your team should do. Krillin, Super Saiyan Vegeta, Majin Vegeta, Spopovich, and Rayleigh. I'm going to skip a couple of these questions, only because we're not trying to be mean or anything, but because a lot of these questions are like ranking Krillin, Super Saiyan Vegeta, Majin Vegeta, and Spopovich are not as important as questions about how the new rules and stuff are going to work.
Yeah. Given this is going to be long enough as it is.
Right. So, okay, let's see another one. See, which of these avatars do you think look best?
I can't even see them.
To the left.
Yeah, and I guess I didn't think I had to say this, but I probably should. Dragon Ball Z related questions only, folks. This Zcast gets off topic enough without.
Yeah, true.
Man, I like yo-yos.
Oh god, no, Piph, please.
You could do so many tricks with it. And there's different kinds of yo. Have you seen the ones where they're they go off the string? Those are insane. Yeah. They have this league. They have yo-yo leagues, and one of the things is that they have a yo-yo, but it's not tied off at the end. So when they flick it off, they kind of bounce it on the string, and sometimes they they do some crazy things. I gotta show you a video.
My head hurts now.
I'm sorry. What are we doing again?
Hang on, I gotta
hit my head against my desk. Does that help?
Hang on, I gotta restart because apparently my plugin's killed or something like that. But the next question underneath that also is, what is your favorite Daedric prince? Again.
Sheogorath. Sorry.
Again. I don't know. I like the guy that gave me the rose staff. He was pretty cool. But
Lawrence.
Not Lawrence. I liked Bill, really.
Lawrence is pretty neat.
Alright, I think we were on page 7?
Yeah,
he had that, nice kind of beard goatee. You could see that it was a beard, and then it had this goatee on.
So, yeah, let's stick to Dragon Ball Z League questions. Okay, alright. Yeah, not Dragon Ball Z League, not Dragon Ball Z League, not Dragon Ball Z League.
We're probably going to go through, the rest of the pages.
Not Dragon Ball Z League, not Dragon Ball Z League, not Dragon Ball Z League, Not Dragon Ball Z League. Okay. If someone started a minor league of 8 teams of 2, would you support coach one of them in addition to your current team? No. The whole point, the whole reason why, and I made this very, very clear, and I'll make it clear again in case anyone missed the last Zcast or whatnot. If there's going to be a minor league, I will support a team, and I might even help a team, but I will probably not be a coach for a team or have anything to do with the production of the league because I have enough to do.
Yeah.
I will support. I will probably definitely pick a team to support that'll be like the one I cheer for, and I will even help custom build that team. But I'm not going to be a coach / tester / maybe a guest announcer every once in a while. But I mean, I don't need more work. Is the point?
Yeah. Team Colt's pretty much enough for me, and I don't think I'd be able to transfer the same kind of come on. Oh fuck.
Well, you might pick a team you cheer for.
Cheer
Put
for,
a banner
not,
in your
not
signature.
Actually to coach or anything like that.
What about you, Biff?
Well, I'm not as enthusiastic as you guys, but I am quite busy with other things, and I usually have neglect for my own team, at least.
Really?
At least for the members in it. My team I take care of, but like I do not notice when my group actually says something, which is a terrible thing.
Okay, I was waiting for that part. I was like, and this is
a good thing. See, I don't like people.
Yeah, we know.
And I sure do not like people who like my team. I hate those guys the most.
Okay, not Dragon Ball Z League. Not Dragon Ball Z.
Speaking of, during this podcast, I'm going to go check my team.
That's a great idea.
The first time in 10 months.
Kind of Dragon Ball Z League, but I'm not gonna answer that question. I think of all the banners, which ones do you think the most aesthetically pleasing? Wink, Androids wink. I think Sep and Alistair used to make banners. I don't know if he still is or not. I think all the banners are fantastic. Yeah. I really do. I think they're great. The only one I thought that sucked was the one Rebel made.
Yeah, that one definitely sucked.
And my original one.
I don't actually agree with you there. Yours is very good.
But I think all the banners, and they just keep getting better and better. Not Dragon Ball Z League. Dende basically saying that this isn't Dragon Ball Z League related. Good job. Not Dragon Ball Z League. Which of the new abilities do you think will be used the most? This is from Gamer Junkie, but we just answered that one.
Yeah.
So... But they may not. Repeat questions. If there's been 3 pages since the question was asked, is kind of understandable. No one's going to read through every question before this. So, yes, yes. There's some guy named Claude Rebel saying, if you want to ask multiple questions, just edit the one post, please. And dear Lord, yes, that is a great idea.
Thank you. I'm very proud of myself.
Okay, so
that's not a question.
So
shut up, Piph.
Okay, and then it's okay. Not Dragon Ball Z League. Not Dragon Ball Z League. Not Let's see. Which do you think is the better character in game, Jiro or Frankie? I haven't seen Android 8's test, but from what I have heard, Android 8 seems like a lesser version of Spopovich. And if that's the case, while Spopovich is a great character, unless you're as good as Spopovich, I would choose Jiro because of the... and I'm not saying who the team should pick. I'm saying who I think is a better player in the match, in the game. And I think because of the life-draining ability, just
that
is that.
Picking hairs. No, splitting hairs. Is it?
What do you mean?
That's details. Details.
What, the life drain?
No. You're influencing what they're saying, what they're going to think, regardless.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there has to be. This is the Zcast. If we're not allowed to say who we think is a better player,
yeah, true.
I was more referring to
who should we pick?
Right.
Yeah.
And what color do you think they should have, and what build do you think is best for this build or this build for this character? Yeah. Well, even that. I mean. Those are okay because the whole point is to... You see what I'm saying? This is a very gray area.
Yeah,
Basically...
it is up to our own discretion, I guess, as to what is really relevant. I guess we actually have to start thinking about stuff. Damn it!
But I mean, if Zcast isn't allowed to even say who they think is a better character, then I mean, what's the point of having opinions?
Topic.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Make everybody else look better. Come on.
Let's see. Do you think? What? Okay, not Dragon Ball Z League. Even close to Dragon Ball Z League. Not Dragon Ball Z League.
Half of this podcast is going to be Squee saying, not Dragon Ball Z League.
Yeah.
I am actually curious on any questions that seem interesting but not about Dragon Ball Z League.
I'm looking for those. But they're things like, what's your favorite variety of takeout food?
I've never had any.
Italian.
I've never had any. All the food that I eat is cooked in this house.
Never got takeout?
Nope, never.
How do you feel about Drain Life moves? They're good.
Yes.
They are good. They're kind of like if you do the damage, but double that.
Because you get health back, too. Ah.
And there's also the tag out potential when raising to another life bar.
That's getting tactical, Piph.
I know. See, I can learn talk.
Oh god.
Alright,
Yeah,
last page. You're right, half of this was...
Yeah.
Like, when we started the Zcast, we're like, there's so many questions! Alright, okay, what's your opinion about the blades so far? This is from Huzzah for Timelines.
I haven't actually been watching their tests enough to see everything that they're doing. Now that they actually have people working on them, they have a much better chance to progress.
I agree. I think that they were a really strong team that had, very little to no leadership last season, and that's why they didn't do as well as they could have.
I think they're sassy.
Oh, that Tapion.
Oh, God.
Who's your favorite Dragon Ball Z GT character?
The deer? The doe? The female deer?
What?
We don't remember that one? It was a random doe that went up, what's her face? What was the grandchild? Yes, grandchild.
Ray, the Golden Drop Sun.
Pan, that's what it was.
Pan, yeah, Pan.
Yeah, a random doe just went up to her and just like, I wonder what's under your shirt.
What? I thought you were talking about the doe that like when like the Tree of Life was draining all the energy.
Yeah, that one fell down.
Yeah, that fell down.
No, we're talking about GT.
Oh,
that didn't happen in GT.
Oh, that reminds me of Dragon Ball Abridged, where like he's gathering energy. He's like, I think it's enough. No, maybe a little bit more, and then the doe falls over. Daddy, Daddy. My favorite character, Piccolo. And you know why Piccolo?
No.
It's going to sound a little odd.
Because it's the exact same.
Piccolo is one of the few characters who was not an idiot when it came to fighting. Like, everyone in that show was like, I'm so much more powerful. I'm going to play around with you. Holy crap, while I was playing around with you, you got stronger. Everyone did that. I'm not taking it seriously. Piccolo almost always was there to kick your butt. It was. I don't think I ever recall a single time in the entire show where Piccolo's like, well, I was just messing with you. It's time to get serious. No, Piccolo's like from the get-go was, let's go. I think there was one or two times where he took off his armor, but that was just, okay.
I could win. I feel great. I can do this.
there are times where Piccolo would power up and get stronger, but it was because he originally thought it was enough to beat him the first time, realized it wasn't, and he went more. It's not because he wanted to play around with him.
Yeah.
But if you think about most of his fights, the fight with Android 17, the fight with Frieza, the fight with Goku, or the Saiyans, he went all out from the beginning. He was like, I am here to kill you.
No, right in Dragon Ball, from the first tournament when he was still the evil King Piccolo, he still messed around during that.
That's true. Okay, so let's say from Dragon Ball Z on.
Yeah.
He was basically
right.
I liked his mentality of, you're messing with the things I care about, so I'm going to annihilate you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play with you. I'm going to do everything within my power, which may not be considerable at times, but everything within my power to stop that.
Yeah.
Could be.
Did you answer, Rebel?
No, because I've never watched GT.
Oh.
So.
Okay, that'll work. General question. Nope, not Dragon Ball Z League.
We should have music playing in the background.
We have another one. Do you think Dragon Ball Warriors will do better in Season 3? I hope so, but it's way too early to...
Yeah, we haven't even done the trials yet. So.
But I think we can all agree it's a definite, we hope so.
Yeah, well, actually, I liked having a team that we know we'd beat. No offense.
I wouldn't mind them having at least 2 and 10.
Yeah, that I could accept. Maybe if they beat Earth Defenders and someone else.
Hey! Let's see. Private Cryan 501 says, how far do you think Earth Defenders shall go, and what do you think... well, again...
2 feet backwards.
Yes, and what do you think they should do insight-wise? Well, I'm not answering that question, because that's hush-hush, but you guys are more than welcome to... What you... Like, okay...
I think Earth Defenders should give everybody Flight, Broly's Ring, and...
Actually, I was just saying, here's a really good example. Less specific things like that, like, hey, what do you think this team could do to improve itself, as opposed to, do you think we should choose this or this?
Yeah, that is a better word. But, yeah.
But obviously, I'm not going to mention it because I will tell you that there are plans. There are plans.
Yeah. We're going to give everyone on our team a cookie. And then
we're going to suspend it above their head.
Yeah. And what we're going to do is we're going to give it, and we're going to put it in the pocket of the opposing player.
You two are more than welcome to say what you might think would help Earth Defenders.
You know what? I'm going to totally go off topic and abuse my power. You guys didn't post on the whole derp thing. I was like, is there any other characters you think are derp? There's like characters that were in other teams. And then, like, one person said, of your original list, this person should not be in here.
Yeah.
And that's all I got.
No, you got me in there defending what was on the list.
Well, did you add a person to my list? No.
But because you and I had already talked. Because you and I had a personal conversation, which is so much more than me putting a post there.
But I didn't hear any new ideas, Squee.
Because we already discussed them all. I already told you that I couldn't think of anyone else, and that was a good list. You can't blame me for this.
That wasn't a question, Squee.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I think denied.
I think you should have the Black Power Ranger because the Mastodon. Really? That sword doesn't even look like it could do anything.
I would dance across the floor if I got the Black Power Ranger.
I love the Black Power Ranger, but his Mastodon Zord, I mean, it looked like it was broken. It couldn't even walk straight. If I was the Black Power Ranger and I see, like, you got Pterodactyl, that's neat. Tyrannosaurus, great. Triceratops. What the hell is this thing? It's not even a dinosaur.
It's a giraffe on a treadmill.
Alright, next question. Not Dragon Ball Z League. That's the last question, actually.
Really?
And it's not Dragon Ball Z League.
I was hoping for a good one at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now we've just kind of gone out on a downward trend. Oh.
So to then let's I'm trying to think if there's anything about the new rules or whatnot that might need better explanation, but I don't think so.
I've not
I think
seen
we're pretty
anybody
clear.
getting confused about stuff much.
Yeah.
Or, any stuff not being explained properly.
No. I can't think of anything. Piph, can you think of anything?
A question?
Or anything about Dragon Ball Z League that you think should be covered?
I did bring up that one question I had almost immediately.
Wait, are you talking about that no one posted a new character?
He's gonna be bitter about
that was a question that somehow transformed into a statement
about Power Rangers.
Actually, I think that question had always been about Power Rangers. It just took a while for its true intentions to be uncovered.
Let's see. Is there... Oh, can you tell us about any of the new rules? Like, any of the finalized rules?
Yeah. If you go to changes for season 3, you will see a list of new rules in the first post.
Well, let's just say, hypothetically,
you can't read.
I don't feel like reading.
Okay, why don't I briefly go over them again for anyone who may have missed the last Zcast or
go back and watch it.
Well, that's true. Yeah, go back and
Let's just say I'm way too lazy to click on things at the moment.
I'm like sitting there going, God, I don't want to go through this again. But maybe I
did
should.
it
And
before.
like Rebel's like the voice of reason. Just go hit play on the other one.
It's only 2 hours long.
Let me just say, what if I didn't want your truck?
That's your problem.
You know what? I am curious. In hearing about. Okay, we've obviously been having a lot of tests going, and at first we were going to watch a lot more tests and talk about those, but we thought we'd have so many questions that we wouldn't get to it. However, one thing I am interested in to see what you guys think the analysis that HJK puts on his tests.
It's good when he's not hyper on sugar.
I think I'm talking
Come
about
on, HJK, that muscle test. What were you doing? It was like listening to a hamster on steroids.
more. I like the analysis as long as they're taken with a grain of salt. Like if the other testers want to do analysis, it's cool because you may point out something that the original person didn't see, and it is important because a lot of times when you watch a match, you don't notice, for example, wow, you don't realize that he spammed that move 8 times,
Yeah.
or you don't realize that, God, he dodged every single one of them, So the analysis can be good, but again, since the tester doesn't always know what they're testing for.
Yeah, I think that was another thing apart as the muscle test, which I'm going to refer to because I only just watched it. HDK didn't exactly know what was the aim of the test.
Right.
So the analysis is
I think
occasionally difficult to look at and understand.
I think the analysis are cool, and if other testers want to do it, and HJK wants to keep doing it, I think it's pretty neat and pretty cool. Just, everyone understand that the tester doesn't know why you were testing for something sometimes. Don't get upset if they go, well, I thought he did really good. He spammed the B2s, and well, we were testing his melee. Well, the tester doesn't do that.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a good idea. Just make sure. If you're testing it for a certain reason, that's why you're testing it.
Yeah, and you can either let the tester know about that, I'm sure, or just take whatever they say as it's meant as, helpful advice or things you may have missed.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of testing and questions, how should I go about my testing thing? I already have a whole thing it would be just a small tournament, just kind of one-on-one kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I could do a 2-on-2, but I was planning on 1-on-1. But is there any particular rules I should directly follow?
No, just the biggest thing obviously is to record it all, which is obvious, and commentate. But as far as rules, I would say, since you're trying to do tryouts for who's the best, I would say don't put builds on them. Maybe AIs, but not builds. Because, well, but then again, that's up to you.
I wouldn't know how to put... Yeah. AIs are mostly like, what do you think it would work well with this character? Or what do you want this character to do? And I'm going, I don't know its strengths yet, because this is the whole point of the testing.
Right. I mean, this is just a suggestion for anyone who's testing a new character. I think I would always test them as default, no build because I mean, how do you know what to put on them before you test them? But as far as rules, no. I mean, one-on-one test, it's pretty straightforward. I can't see. Just make sure there's no red Pataras on them. Other than that,
there's something that might.
Can I put a default one on all of them, or would that not be okay?
Default? What do you mean default?
Like default Patara.
Yeah. If you want to say, for example, you want to see what all of them do with indignation,
fighting spirit, and serious.
Sure.
And later,
by all means.
Those.
In fact, honestly, since it's the off season, if you wanted to put a different build on every single one of them in the tryouts, that's really your choice. I'm not going to stop you because all you're doing is hurting yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no special rules.
There's one thing that might be worth considering. Were you planning on doing them best 2 out of 3 or just one match?
It was probably going to be a one match thing, but I might redo characters if I think they have potential. But I can usually get a feel for them after like one match. Because if I do 2 for 3, that's going to be a lot of matches.
Yeah, it will.
I mean, I'm willing to do that if everyone really wants like an actual mini tournament.
Well, it is your team.
Well, I'm also gonna post it as a mini tournament.
Okay.
For just characters and whatever. But yeah.
Yay!
Are we actually finished?
I think so. I think we're done.
How long has this call been going on for now? Because for some reason I don't have numbers.
I don't know. Longer than 5 minutes, less than 3.
Less than 3 minutes, longer than 5 minutes? What?
Yeah, you heard me. You can't use me as a timer because I've been on this call for 5 hours. So.
Oh.
I would say around 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, take half an hour off that for the Seekers. Anyway, unless either of you have suddenly got any brainwaves.
Nope, I'm good.
What brainwaves where?
That does imply brain cells, I suppose. Anyway, so yeah, it's been more of a questions and answers thing than anything. So until the next one, which will probably... How many? Yeah, probably be for when one of the tournaments goes up, I guess.
Probably, or the home arenas.
Yeah, all those.
Which, by the way, if your team has not chosen an arena yet for your home arena, go to that forum and choose one. We can't have the fights for the arenas until all 16 teams have chosen
How many teams
what they
have
want.
chosen?
That's a good question. Let me see. News and announcements. Home stadium selection. Okay, I'm gonna have to go through this. There's like 6 pages. I'm not going through it. Let's just, if you haven't chosen one, get one up. If everyone has chosen, in the next couple of weeks, we'll get it done.
Okay.
So
that's cool. And what dates did either of you have planned for the tryouts of various teams, namely Durham?
Dates? You think I'm organized? That's cute.
Yeah, I'm an eternal pessimist. Actually, I was going to say eternal optimist, but I'm not. I can hope.
I can endeavor to make that quickened, because I pretty much just said the thread that suggested things, stop suggesting things, so I just said, you know what, I'm just going to go with what I have.
Okay.
I might try and get the home stadiums done next weekend, simply because Mass Effect 3 comes out after that, and the world might not know me. So, which,
Fair
by
enough.
the way, might I suggest we don't make plans for like a Zcast weekend after next weekend?
Really? Why would that be, Squee?
Because I would stand you up.
Uh,
I would
Like a
stand you
cheap-
up like a cheap date. Yep.
I didn't realize I paid for you.
You're a good friend, but you're no reaper.
No, true. I can try. I tried so hard.
I was gonna say, you don't have Tally's hips. You can't compete.
How do you know?
Which, good lord, I'm sorry. I know she's a quarter and all that, but that woman has got some hips on her.
Yeah, it's slightly.
That is
serious.
what my hometown called birthin' hips.
Them burger hips.
Not exactly. I mean, I'm not saying they're attractive or unattractive or anything. I'm just making a statement.
Oh, no. I just thought of what burger hips means. No.
Giraffe on a treadmill. Biff, giraffe on a treadmill.
That's not working anymore.
All right, everyone. Then I think we're gonna call it quits.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to, unless I decide not to press the end recording button, because I've got a text. I'm busy.
Then they're just gonna hear us doing Mass Effect 3 multiplayer.
This is true, and maybe see it at the same time. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I don't want that on the internet. See you later, folks.
Bye, everyone.
Good day.